Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We have for you Game 2 of the quarterfinals of the 2023 Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament between Paratroopa and Xarnax42. I am VT Slacker and will be tracking, and on comms we have Mirai. Mirai, the mic is yours.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's matchup, or this afternoon's matchup, depending on where you are in the United States. 1-0 to Para here, looking to take the series. Xarnax hoping to answer back with a win tonight to push Game 3. But Para taking the win in Game 1. Speaking of answering back, these two met up in Swiss. Xarnax did take the win back in Swiss. Para came back, took the win just the other day. Here we are, essentially a Game 3 matchup between them, but really only Game 2 of this series here in the brackets phase of the tournament. The quarterfinals here, someone's looking at, well, Para's looking to move on tonight to the semifinals. And again, Xarnax is looking to push this to a Game 3. We have the countdown started there. Lots of sacrifice to RNG in the chat there. We'll see what we get. Randomized overworlds, shuffled item locations, randomized palace layouts. We've got it all in this one. And we'll be off here in just a moment. Hope everyone's doing well out there this wonderful Tuesday night. Here we go. Nice green carpet on Xarnax's side. Playing the Zelda sprite there. And Para playing the Simon Belmont sprite. Looking like, I'm going to say Caldera. We're in a kind of a tight space here. I'm saying Caldera. Jump in Saria. We're going to be grabbing that. Guma on the boots. Okay. Okay, that could be useful. Might have the water tile in play. We might have an islands biome at some point that we're going to want the boots for to make it easier. Or if there is an islands biome somewhere, something could absolutely be boots locked. So we're going to jump. This is going to guarantee us downstab in Mido once we find it. Could be nearby. Could be on the other side of the caldera. Could be blocked off for the first 45 minutes of the game. That's what I would like to see. We'll see if I get what I want. Both of our runners synced up here at the same point in time, less than a minute in. Although Xarnax cast it. I don't know if that was a check for fire. It looks like he swung, then cast, then up and aid. So Para has the lead, technically speaking, at this point. We've got Parappa or Fairy Cave. It is Parappa going east to west there. Probably going to take us to the other side of the caldera, if I'm correct on our biome. It could also take us to a dead end. Nope, that's the other side of our caldera. Okay. We've got Xarnax in Medicine Cave here. We've got Reflect in Rudo. We're going to be looking for the trophy, going in for the hint here. Also, 3 other NPC hints to pick up as well. Xarnax taking a death there at the end of the bridge. First NPC knows nothing. At least, okay, 500 bag there for Xarnax. He's going to be cashing that in on attack. Probably another life level as well. Death Mountain holds the trophy. That's what we'd like to see, folks. Unless you're playing the seed, and then you don't like to see that. So Hammer could be in play now, based on that. Xarnax taking a death in the same spot, even though he got +1 attack, +1 life. Although he's only life 2, I'd probably go for life 3. I thought he was going to cash it in on life 3. It looks like he tried to let that ride. Yeah, that life 3 is probably going to do a good bit more work than life 1. Got Trophy Cave here for Para. Keep wanting to say Parappa, because we just saw Parappa Cave. Xarnax down to his final bar of health here. This is not good. Flute, Red Dyra blocking the way. 200 for the Red Dyra. That's a max roll and experience in this flag set. Nice to see. We got an orange one here. How much is the orange one? 150 max for these in this flag set. Only 100, it looks like. Word on the streets, we've got keys in the drop pool. That's nice to see. One more enemy. Are we going to be able... Oh, it's another red... Oh, it's a red... Okay, okay. Xarnax has got it. Looks like just a magic container. East. Cave to the east from the west here. We saw some lava there. We got P2, P5. Is this 5? It is going to be 2, actually. Based on that magic container that comes out of the statue. And for that particular pillar set. Got the grass tile here on Xarnax's side. I'm glad he did not get stopped by the nonsense in Medicine Cave there. I don't know if we had a hint on the first NPC. I don't think we did. Got a another cave. That was Medicine Cave there, I believe, right above Grass Tile. There's the Medicine, just south of Medicine Cave. Well, I guess we'll see what Medicine, what's going to be in Mito today. Could be Fairy. I honestly didn't see what was in Raru here, so I guess this could be Fairy for all I know. Nope, it's Shield. Okay. It's Vanilla location. Got a Raft tile here. That's going to be Mito based on everything else we've seen up to this point. So Xarnax doesn't know that, but we do. Here's Fairy Cave. Probably not going to hang out here for too long, although we do want to kill maybe this Styra for 100. Karok with the candle. P4 candle. It's going to be nigh useless today. Kind of a skip location. It's just the life spell. Well, jump is nice and cheap at least. We can get down stab and I guess the life spell. Xarnax skipping the house there. Not going to get the hint from the NPC. Really P-Bag Cave here on Para's side. What are we missing? We're missing Heart Container Cave, Magic Container Cave, and then whatever we've got in here, we'll find out here shortly. Downstep going to be nice to have, though. We'll see if Para goes east after discovering what's over here. Might just come back with the jump spell to get down stab before going anywhere else. That's a thing. It's not that hard to get to the other side. There's our cross. Yeah, it's not that hard to get to the other side of the caldera, so not 100% sure if it's segmented yet. It doesn't have to be, but it could be. Trying to see a little bit more on Parasite here. Yeah, no raft for us yet, but at least Xarnax knows he might be looking for one. Although we do have the cave from west to east, so. Then again, that could be maze to DM, which is going to be required today. Bridge to DM, which is going to be required today. Bridge to maze. Oh my god. Raft to DM could be required today, or raft to the maze. Who knows what that raft is going to take us to just yet. So we don't know our third palace. Do we know our second palace? We saw P2. Here's Magic Container Cave. We don't know what's in the caldera yet. There's no reason to go in there and check just yet. $333 for Xarnax, $233, about to be $333, I imagine, for Para, about 150 short there. Xarnax going to see Reflect in Rudo, going to be looking for that trophy hint as well. Another Magic Container out here, okay. There was one in Medicine Cave, there's one in Magic Container Cave. And we still just have Heart Container Cave left. I wonder where that's going to be. Parrot is going to head east. Okay. I mean, we know that the fairy spell's over here. Is that the water tile right there? Could be the water tile. There's a pass-through for Para. $500 in the desert tile. We'll take it. On a sliver of health there. Going to take the life level. Get a refill. Xarnax just going to grab the spell that's in this town. It's going to be shield, and there's a cave to the maze. So cave west east, cave to the maze from the east there, and it is GP on the maze, so that means Death Valley is going to be in play prior to beating the game, or at least prior to diving into GP. I guess we're going to look for both the items on the maze here. We do see that bridge as well. That could be DM. That could also be back to the east at some point. If it does go back to the east, we're not going to get that information right now, but if it does, that means raft to DM guaranteed. Oh, this good encounter. All right. Doesn't look too bad, though. Para having jumped. That's nice. Okay, could be another 500 bagger, just 200. Yeah, no downstab over here, so... Oh, sliver of health again. Are they invulnerable? They could be invulnerable. There's P2 for Xarnax. Nothing too difficult moving left out of this encounter. There's Trophy Cave for Xarnax. Child's blocking fire today. We're not going in just yet. Xarnax takes a bop there. Looks like we could have a volcano over here on the east as well. 500-point P-Bags dropping left and right for these runners. Xarnax not wanting to be trolled by the louder and the bot here. This is a pass-through cave. I'm going to say that that's taken us to the other side of the volcano. We can see there's an opening there, lava just down below that goes into the mountain. That's telling me we have a volcano biome. So caldera, horizontal volcano on the east. Okay, so here's 4. Maybe we saw that on Parasite. It's entirely possible. We do have... Yes, Para has 4 marked for the west. Okay, so we've seen 2 and 4. We don't know what is in the caldera. We're probably not too interested in that right at the moment, especially now that we know where 4 is at. We know where GP is at. Those are the 2 real blocks early on. Otherwise, every other palace is pretty much open. We're going to look around the maze a little bit more on Parasite. Xarnax finding the maze as well. He's going to see the bridge. Nothing just yet, but now he's got knowledge of GP. However, he probably wants this level. He's about 43 experience short of a level. He's on a sliver of health, though. Don't know how many lives he's got. He did take 1 death in... Trophy Cave there. There's the second death. Is that... Okay, he's got 1 life left. Reds still might be invulnerable, but that Tektite might not be. So he's going to shield up here. I don't know how good life is doing. He's the only one with the spell. Okay, it looks like they're invulnerable here. Tektites could be up to 100. He's going to take magic or life. Which one does he want? He's going to take magic. Okay. We did see the first drop on Parasite as well. Just a heart. Xarnax in a different section of the maze, though. So the second drop from our perspective currently is could be down here, or it could be up by Para. So here's the second drop. What do we got? Another heart. Double heart on the maze. Unfortunately, Xarnax down this terrible dead end. Although not that terrible. It's not littered with encounters. What kind of sucks is if you hit a dead end like this on the maze, and there's like 4 encounters that you have to push through in order to get to the dead end, and then you have to walk it back. And that just kind of feels a little lame. Then it feels like you're getting randoed by the randomizer there, picking the wrong direction. Well, nothing too game-breaking here. There's DM off the bridge. So we're going, or I'm going to say it's obviously DM. We're in a DM cave. But it's a horizontal river canyon from the looks of it, and we don't have a hammer. So we're just going in for Hammer Cave here, it looks like. Which technically isn't even necessarily going to be accessible without the boots. So we know the boots are in 5. But we're going to go ahead and gamble on this DM right now. At least we can get a little bit further in here. Nope, we're leaving. Okay. Maybe Para just wanted to check some of the initial caves. See if Hammer Cave was just sitting here. See if we could see a rock for later, or coming back later. But nothing so far, so... She's going to be out of there. Xarnax walking the same path that Para did. Pretty sure both drops are over on the west side today. Kind of west, middle west. Or maybe one of them's here? I thought they were both west. Yeah, they're both going to be west from center. Para going through this medicine cave. This is going to net her the 6th magic container. Kind of bodying everything here, shielded up, I imagine, and tons of hearts. So no big deal. Just going to up an A, I'm sure at this point. Yep. Xarnax seeing his first drop there. He's going to keep walking around, looking for that second drop as well. Going to check the bridge. We'll see if he sticks around in DM for a little while. Both the runners having the hint. The trophy's in DM. Trophy is going to be blocking Reflect today. Although we don't have a read on Fire. So it's possible that Fire is Trophy, although Fire is Child, and we don't know where the Child's at. No one has gone to look for the hint. I don't even think Xarnax has seen that just yet. I think Para was the only one who's seen that so far. All right, so both of our runners essentially at the same mark here. 3, 4, 5 for Para. 3, 4, 4 for Xarnax. Xarnax also down 1 magic container, which he'll find shortly on the east when he goes back there. Assuming he doesn't dig into DM. We're going to be grabbing down stab here as well. Has the medicine, so we'll also be turning that in for the life spell. Didn't get a read just yet on how good that life spell is. Could be 1 to 5 bars given this flag set. Alright, so Xarnax not going to dig into DM. Came back to the maze, decided, nah, I'm going to up an A. I'm going to come back to the west here. We are missing Heart Container Cave, are we not? Both of our runners not having it marked off. And Xarnax still missing Pillar P-Bag Cave, the Western P-Bag Cave as known in Vanilla, and Magic Container Cave as well. I'm sorry, that's where that other Magic Container came from, was Magic Container Cave, not the east. Xarnax's going to go into the Caldera here. He's just going to go check the palace. You can, of course, walk into the palace if you'd like, but we don't have logical means to be inside of palaces currently. Paris sees the raft there as well. It could be that the raft takes us somewhere. The raft could still go to DM, or it could go to the east still. Low frame rates are just simply a feature of the randomizer. We've got 3 or 6 here in the Caldera. Xarnax jumping around. It's probably not jumps of excitement. Not entirely sure what he wanted to see here. Oh, he wants to grind out this level, it looks like. Okay, we're going in. We have some keys in our pocket, right? Some keys, we may have like 2 keys on Xarnax's side. I think we've maybe seen 2, maybe 3 keys in total. We'll have to wait to see if we can catch his menu when he comes up. Or not, he's out of there. Okay. So he's probably going to hit Paratroopa, probably go to the other side of the west here, find the 2 other remaining caves, and then I don't know if we've got a boulder blocked cave somewhere that is Heart Container Cave. I don't know where that is. I'm not entirely sure if either runner's seen that at this point in time. But Para's also going into the Caldera here. Again, without logical means of being in there. 500 bag and a 50 bag. I thought we were going to get back-to-back 500s there. $200 points on the graveyard tile there. Lots of red Dyras. These guys are worth 200. This is totally worth it. I hope we see life cast here shortly. I'm not even sure we can afford it right now. All right, Para finding her way into the 3 or 6. Again, we can't really identify this from the outside other than it being 3 or 6. Gotta go in a little bit deeper, see an item. If we have a hint for the item, see the windows, or find the boss. Para also on a sliver of health here. There is an elevator room to the right, and up and down. So we might get the chance to see a little bit more of this palace. There's also a ferry to the right of that room. Could get her health back. Oh, it looks like it just loops to this one room here. Okay. So Xarnax did see the Pillar P-Bag Cave there. Just across. So we've just got a down or an up and a right on Para's side here. No doors just yet. She did see a door going left from start, but opted not to spend the key there. Another elevator room. All right, so Xarnax, another 500 back for Xarnax. All right, so opting to go up and left here and burn the key here. I don't know where, which drop pool had the keys in them. This is a little sketchy here. The floating wizards. Are we in the other side of the same elevator room? Oh, no, we're not. Okay, different elevator room. Oh, we're out of keys. Okay, so they're not that abundant. This is quite the gamble to be in here. I mean, we don't have a hint for 3 or 6. Anything, unless I missed it. And, you know, the only thing, well, here's the opposite there on the east. I guess we knew that. I guess Para would have shown us that. Xarnax did, yeah, he did find Magic Container Cave. Heart Container Cave must be, it's possible that Heart Container Cave is simply boots locked. We did see a little bit of water on the, right there next to North Palace. Could be that Heart Container Cave is just across the pond there. We are going to get upstab on Xarnax's side. We'll see if we get the hint for the child. Going for the super jump here. Gets it. Although it's sort of the discounted version. Usually the super jump. You get to the top and you're kind of hitting the jump button. And you just end up doing kind of a big old double. It's a big jump that you get. People have seen it before. I don't have to explain it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We're going into Death Valley, although I think we've got a pass-through cave just north of here that'll take us to the other side, similar to how Paratroopa took us to the other side of the west, on the other side of the caldera there. Probably have a pass-through that takes us there on the east as well, across this volcano, without having to do all of this, because we may actually have a segmented east here. And we do have P2, child in P2. So Helmet Head is babysitting today. Para getting beat up here. Got a blue Lizolfo going to say hello. Looks like 2 bars, might be 3 bars of health. We're taking damage at the same time we're healing there, so I don't know if this is going to happen. I'd probably be looking at encounter skips if we're going to dedicate our time to jumping in here like this. I think we're going to make it out. Okay, that's 1. Xarnax in a lava encounter as well. Is he trying to push into Death Valley? Did he just get caught? Lava encounters don't have to be on lava tiles themselves, although he's coming in here as well. We had some caves up here. What do those caves do? Do we not? Yeah, that's true. If Heart Container Cave is on the other side, it is a segmented east. That means, what does that mean? That means if this cave up here on Xarnax's side, he's about to walk into this. If this actually doesn't take us to the other side, then we have a segmented east, hard segment. Oh, he's not going to go to the cave. Well, here's the item room in this palace. I don't know what palace we walked into, even though I was too excited for the segmentation of it. Just a 1-up. Wow. Oh, P1. Okay. So 1-up in P1. Child in P2. No idea what's in 3. A candle in 4. 5 boots. 6 unknown. So we've got a lot of palace item hands. Well, 1 was unknown as well until Era just showed it to us. This is pretty interesting. Our runners going into Death Valley like this, not checking these pass-through caves on these eastern volcanoes. Again, this could be, if I didn't get a chance to finish my thought. What this means, if we actually had a hard segmented eastern biome, this means that the raft would be required to get to the other side. And if that were the case, then that would mean that the raft is either in Hammer Cave or that it's in Heart Container Cave, or where else could it be? Or like the key could be in Hammer Cave or Heart Container Cave, and then we could have a rafted 3 or 6 because we have access to both 3 and 6. So Yes, there are keys in the drop pool, but just to be clear, keys in the drop pool do not mean go into palaces. That means you're more than welcome to gamble on palaces if you'd like, but the randomizer doesn't put keys in the drop pool with the expectation to throw you into a palace. It wants you to have either the magic key or the fairy spell before you were ever required to be in a palace. Is the one major change from vanilla. We're going to find Horsehead here. Xarnax looks like he's going to make it in here. He'll be able to do the palace as well. Unless the one way that Para didn't go... oh, no. I say as well, but we're kind of stuck. This is why palace diving into palaces is just not in logic right now. All right, so Xarnax is going to go left immediately, not check the elevator entirely here. Immediate dead end. Para back to the east again. The answer is either Bagoo, right now either Bagoo, Hammer Cave, assuming it's accessible, or this pass-through, which will very likely take us to the other side of the volcano, but it doesn't have to. You can see the cave up north there. That's one of the... We have 4 pass-through caves on the east. One of them's already in Death Valley. We saw one of them kind of be a dead end up at the very, very north side. And then we've got this one that Para's in right now. And we've got one more screen to go through before we'll find out if it kicks us out properly. And there it is, the other side of the east. Looks like we might have a 3-eyed rock just below us. I need to see one more tile down. Magic key sitting right there on the desert tile. So there's the answer, folks. Pretty simple. Just hit the east, go through the pass-through. Don't mess with any palaces or volcanoes or calderas. We do have a 3-eyed rock, but of course we have the flute from the west. There's P5. Yeah, P5, because 2 is on the west. So we'll be in here for the boots. That's going to open up Death Mountain and make it a little bit easier to traverse, as well as the water tile. We don't know where the glove is at, so we may actually have a glove block. In fact, we do have a glove fairy block right here on Parasite, so can't get through here. Not currently. If the dream of meeting Guma and getting his autograph currently has to be put on hold. We got Spelltown in Spelltown, New Kasuto today. 6 containers, enough to get into the basement. Just a P-bag down there. Although with all these levels and all these containers, spell is going to be castable. So we'll also see what is in the spell tower. Could be the glove that's just sitting right there, and then that would be right back into 5, I would imagine. Now, we did see an extra key drop on Xarnax's side, so I'm assuming he can do this. Otherwise, he wouldn't push this far, but he hasn't seen a boss drop just yet, so he's got 2 keys in his pocket. He'll be able to place the gem in 1 here, but this really isn't a huge play to make currently, just simply because it's a 1-up in here, and there's, you know, normally you'd come back in here with Fairy and make Death Valley pretty easy. So we spent a little bit of time in here. 7th magic container in the spell tower. So no glove yet for Para. We've got Sunken and Risen P-Bag Caves, both on the table. I assume they're both over here on the eastern side of the east. We'll see if we see a raft tile over here as well, which could be just, again, quick means to get back to this side of the eastern continent, assuming we even find the raft at any point. Then again, something could be boots locked over here. It doesn't really look like it. Yeah, we've got Xarnax looking for Heart Container Cave at this point in time. This is going to be an item cave, I believe, on Parasite coming up here. There is the raft tile down there by that that town. What's the town we haven't seen yet? Have we seen Old Kasuto? I don't believe we have. About to see what is in Risen, though. Just a P-Bag. Wow. Well, Xarnax, did Xarnax find Bagu? He does have a flute. Maybe the Riverman accepts a really well-played tune as means to get across. Oh, Bagu in South Woods. Okay, South Woods. Wow, that is... Wow, is that South Woods? It's South Woods. Might be accessible only from the western side. That's a hell of a split. South Woods. Well, this is Nibiru that we found here. We haven't seen Old Kasuto then either. Was it down by... Oh, maybe... I'm sorry. I'm a little turned around on the east here. I'm trying to see if... Yeah. See, South Woods... so the way to understand the hint is that the entire continent, the entire biome is broken into a 3x3 grid. So there's essentially 9 tiles. You could just envision that. See, you see the entire map laid out on a piece of paper. Draw 3 equally sized tiles as a 3x3 grid across this thing. And so Southwoods is going to be south middle. Of course, southwest would be, southwest, southeast would be southeast. South is going to be south middle. So it's not south from the town. It's south in terms of the tile on the way that it's laid out in that 3x3 grid. So unfortunately, Xarnax I think he's reading it as south of the town. The game is not that intelligent to give you coordinates based on the town, just based on the overall biome. There's the glove in Sunken. Okay. Or dare I say, what is that cave right there? What this is hard. Honestly, it could be through Fairy Cave. It could actually be through Fairy Cave. That could lead us to Heart Container Cave. That would be kind of blocked off. Or, funny enough, that Fairy Cave could lead us to South Woods. As you can see down there, there's not much space south of the caldera itself, but there could be a little pocket of forest down there. That is a terrible Bagu location. Then again, we don't even know if we need Bagu right now. Para's in great position, though, with the glove. Going to head back into 5, it looks like. All right, so if Para found the woods earlier, my assumption is that it's actually on this, on the accessible from the western side of the caldera, straight south from where Xarnax was at, straight south from where that first town is as you exit out of Parappa. So we're back into 5. Yeah, unfortunately, Xarnax possibly caught up in how to get across the east here, thinking that seeing the raft tile there and just thinking, yeah, here we go. Nope, not yet, but these little further east from Xarnax's position is going to be Southwoods potentially. All right, Para going to take this up and left here. Not going to check the bottom of that first elevator. this is a dead end up here for Para. Might net herself a key, though. Oh, never mind. We have the magic key. What am I talking about? Gets the key anyway. Yeah, Southwood's going to be down here. That makes sense. We'll see if we can see where Fairy Cave spits us out here on Xarnax's side. Yeah, Xarnax walking out to the right of these encounters. I think it's faster to walk to the left. And unfortunately, he keeps walking into the encounters he just did a moment ago. Just kind of spending a little bit of extra time down here. There's Bagu. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's still things that are outstanding, right? Boots could lead us to Hammer on the water tile. Hammer could be in Hammer Cave, and then Spec Rock as trophy. Could be in Heart Container Cave. Could be in 3 or 6. So, you know, that's still out there. But Bagu, not really a thing right now that's too important, seeing as Ferry was accessible, and you can just simply ferry across the water gap at the back of Saria. So, and we know this is not going to be anything. Again, the best thing it could be, maybe from Xarnax's position, if Heart Container Cave is over here, maybe the best thing it could be is the raft, which will get him to the other side of the east. There it is. That could really be the biggest thing that gets him back into the racer. Otherwise, he's going to have to walk all the way back to the other side. I mean, maybe it's the hammer, but I don't think that's a big of a block for Para. Para's going to have the boots out of here as well. It's not. It is the 8th magic container, as we have seen all locations of magic containers in the seed. So not really anything spectacular there. Yeah, unfortunately, this 5 looking kind of convoluted here for Para. No boots, no Guma yet, so. So next is going to be headed back to the east, I imagine. And we found Guma. Although Xarnax might opt to dig into Hammer Cave in Death Mountain, if assuming he can even reach it. He's kind of looking for the maze access. Uh-oh. Yeah, that lever's going to keep coming back and hitting him in the face here. Attack 4 looking like it's doing great on Guma. We have shield in life though, so no big, not really that big of a deal. Just kind of stick with it. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Xarnax is going to go dig Death Mountain here. And, I mean, best case scenario, that Hammer Cave is open and available and maybe has that trophy so that he doesn't have to double dip DM later in the seed. But this is not looking good for Xarnax currently. I mean, you kind of had a mirrored east and west here, right? We started on the east side of the west. We took a pass-through cave to get to the west side of the west because we had a segmented caldera. And then on the east, we started on the west side of the east, and we had a segmented volcano, and we had a pass-through cave that took us to the other side of the volcano, right? So it was simply just, you know, it's kind of like the West was telling you how to operate on the East as well. But dare I say, this is pretty common when it comes to calderas like this, that, you know, if they're segmented, you got to have a way through them. Yeah, Para going to stick around and look for these boots here. And we have no idea if we could even reach Hammer Cave right now on Xarnax's side, although he's going to try. I don't know how long Para's been in this 5. It is potential that time could be made up here if Xarnax walks in here fairly soon. The longer that Para is going to have palace access, the longer that the further behind Xarnax is going to be. Got a drop room here. Para does not want to take it, or looks like we have already cut off on the top side of the caldera of Death Mountain there. Xarnax seeing the kind of messed up 4-way elevator network here. That one of the sets of caves is always kind of weird. So I assume he can get to the top side there and come south to that bridge that goes south that takes him to another cave. I think that's what he's trying to do. Para looks like she's getting looped around here. Although this does look like potentially new territory for her. Although I believe we saw her in that room already, going to the right. Wow, these are just loops. Alright, so we're going to go up and left here. I don't know if we finished going through this room. I guess not. Because back down and left is going to be that drop room again. Oh, that's just an elevator here. Okay. No item room just yet. We're going to do a full clear of this 5. This is quite the 5 here. All right, Xarnax is here moving south. We do see the rock, I believe, right on the edge of his screen. We'll get a better look at that when he comes out of this cave. Elevator room down here for Para. Could be our item. It is not the item just yet. There is the rock, but there is nothing else down here for Xarnax. Looks like we do have a boots locked DM today. And this is a dead end for Para, so we're going to walk it all the way back up to that last junction, which is 5 rooms away at this point. We got to go all the way back there. Para is probably not too happy about this 5 layout. I mean, I'm not even playing this game. I'm not happy about this 5 layout, but it is what it is. All right, so Xarnax back to the west. He's going to go through reverse jump again, and I guess he's going to go into this 3 or 6. We don't know which is which just yet. We've got one in the caldera, and the opposites is going to be in the east. Xarnax maybe, I mean, I say maybe, but he's definitely just taking a gamble that there's something in this 3 or 6. But then again, I mean, we know it's not the glove. We know it's not the key. We know it's, well, I mean, again, Raft could be his best hope, right? He didn't see the pass-through cave on the east. He saw the cave, but he was kind of focused on Death Valley at that point. And then once he saw P1, he did P1 out of logic with keys in his pocket and saw that it was a segmented east. And I think having seen that raft, he was just convinced that the raft was the only way over there to the opposite side of the east. When that, in fact, was not the case today. Although it can be the case, right? It can actually be the way that the biomes are laid out, but today that's not true. So, Para, back to the junction that we went down and left in. Watch the item room be simply just here. It's another drop room. What is this? 5? Like, this has to lead us back to somewhere. Well, okay. Maybe it just loops into itself. Maybe this is an item room here. Well, it's an elevator. I don't know if we've been here yet. It's hard to tell because Para kind of pushing through some of these rooms quickly, not killing the enemies. Normally you can tell if you've been in a place before once the enemies are dead and you return. There's our item room as Para steps out of it, not recognizing it is a community item room. Oh, okay. And this is... All right, we're going back to the other room. And 22 minutes later, we're going to have our boots. We got an easy 5. I think we're going back to check on the water tile real fast. If this is the hammer, this is simply going to be Para's game to lose. Waiting to see what is on the water tile here. Xarnax backtracking from this one room, having spent a key in here, unfortunately. Oh, Para not going to check the water tile. Oh. Looks like fire is spell? Okay, we are going to check the water tile. And there's the hammer. And we have a boots locked old Kasuto. Okay, this is thunder in here, I imagine. Wow, boots really paying out today. A lot of stuff boots locked. A lot of required stuff boots locked. Thunder spell, hammer. Well, we don't know if it's spec rock or hammer cave yet for the trophy, although it is in DM and it does block reflect. And of course, DM itself is boots locked outside of a few caves. So boots, big use out of boots today. I don't know if we've seen windows on, well, we've seen Rebo. So P6 for Xarnax, P3 for Para. And a dead end for Xarnax here. There is that left at start. I don't know how many keys he has. Nope, he did have 2 keys. We're going to be placing second gem here 48 minutes into the game. Although at this point, we are simply off to the races. We are in go mode for all intents and purposes. Just looking for the trophy out of DM, which we already know is there. We've got all the tools required to full clear DM at this point. Para going to go back into Death Valley. And Xarnax going to go into 4. Nope. I think both of our runners have the hint for 4 having the candle. Two is Child Fairy, but or no, we don't have fire on Parasite, so I guess that was just simply a spell cast that we saw turn the statue into a blue iron knuckle at the front of the palace. I guess that was just a simple spell cast. Might have been a miss menu. I don't know. I don't know why we would have cast spell there. Yeah, so my bad on the fire combination here. I don't know what we're combined with fire yet. I don't think we've seen that on Parasite just yet. On spell casting and potentially seeing fire come out of her sword. Not all spells work in reverse, though, for whatever reason, so it's possible that something like thunder is actually fire today. Para knows exactly where she's going, has already defeated Horsehead, and just needs to get through the key door. Xarnax with limited keys here, just kind of poking around, looking for something, hoping for something. I mean, maybe it's Fire Fairy. I mean, if that's the case, that would help Xarnax clear a few things, but Fire Fairy also, fire combined spell also not going to be in logic, technically speaking, so. Yeah, opting not to cast jump in these rooms. We don't have to save it for anything like fairy casts. There's a tricky 4-tile jumps right there. All right, Para walks into the gem room here. Oh, another door for Xarnax. I don't know how many keys he's got. Is he down to his final key? I'm not sure. All right, 3 gems down for Para. 51 minutes into the game here. So Xarnax in 3 now, but we saw Rebo very early on. I don't know if he's just hoping to find the item versus the boss. Knowing that bosses don't drop keys. Although this is... Nope, this is not a key door room. We have no idea what awaits us in 3 or 6 as the item. He's going to grab the key. Oh, no. Oh, he had the jump. Oh, he's got to get it now. Okay. All right, there could be a door in this room here. There's an elevator down on the right-hand side, but there could be a door before the elevator. Nope, it's open today. And here's the item room. So we'll see what's in 6. Xarnax about to take a mace to the face. Lucky, well, nice, not a lucky, but a nice shield there before getting hit. Does have a life in reserve, though. We do have a heart in 3, I'm sorry. I think Xarnax may be a bit puzzled as to what he is meant to do here, sitting on this screen. We're going to see Spec Rock here. Is this our trophy? It is the trophy. Hammer required. Although that's not too far of a stretch after getting the boots there. We're going to check Heart Container Cave on Parasite as well. At this point, though, we are in go mode, so... Xarnax going in back into this P6 to try to look around to try to find an item of some sort that he feels may help him. It's entirely possible that Hammer Cave has the raft, or I guess where else could the raft be at this point? Is either Hammer Cave or P6 at this point, isn't it? Yeah, there's an immediate door here to the left. There's also still another heart out there, so I guess it's 50-50 on heart and raft being P6 in Hammer Cave. Am I mistaken? I believe that's correct. I don't think there's anything else that we have not found at this point, because Para full cleared the east. We know the items in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't know the item in 6, and we don't know the item in Hammer Cave. One of those has to be the raft, and the other one has to be the last heart. Oh, nice key drop for Xarnax. Keeping him alive in Palace exploration, but it is an elevator down here. Could be dragon, could be item room. It is neither. Another key, okay. Item room for Xarnax here, 50-50. Is it going to be Raft? Raft actually would put him back in the race, although he's quite a bit behind here. It is the Raft. Wow. It may be too little too late at this point, though. He has to God route P5, although he's not going towards the raft at this point in time. Nope, he's turned around now. Okay. He needs to have like a 7-minute P5, which I guess is possible if you just took every right turn or every correct turn. Dead end for Para here. Alright, Xarnax gonna get the fairy spell. He's also gonna find the magic key over here as well. He's got the flute for 3-eyed rock. He also knows the boots are in 5. We went this way in 6 before. I don't know. I think this was a dead end on Parasite previous. I could be wrong, though. Could be a different junction. I forget what was in Risen. I think Risen was just a pea bag. Sunken had our glove in it today. It is also on this side of the eastern biome. Wow, we've got some big palaces today for 5 and 6. We also haven't even seen 4 or 2 yet. They could also be quite labyrinthine. Here's Sunken for Xarnax. Para kind of stuck trying to get into this hole. You can get through there, as she's shown. You just have to hold right and keep jumping. Obviously making it a little bit more difficult with the jump spell on. That's where the struggle was coming from. And that's a loop right there. Up and right is a loop to down and left. All right, so Xarnax with his glove. Hopefully he'll see the desert tile soon enough. So he won't have to be relying on Fairy Cast, although I believe it's fairly cheap at Magic 5. I would feel like I'm probably behind at this point in time. So I wonder if after he sees that, what he'll do. Well, that's right. I'm coming back to the boots as well. I'm just thinking about the boots. The boots did give us access to Thunder. Man, so much stuff that the boots gave us access to. And I think Para's right back to the start of the palace, so no idea on where we're going in this 6. There's a magic key for Xarnax. And he's going to see the backside of this pass-through. Please don't take it. Although, I mean, at this point, I say please don't take it simply because he's got to get into 5 and go. He's got to go, go, go. He doesn't know where Thunder's at, though, so... Yeah, is he gonna... Yeah, he's... I was gonna say, Xarnax knows he needs nothing else at this point. Para getting bopped, taking a lava bath. Not enough magic to cast Fairy there. Same situation this time, though. Enough for Fairy to get through. Not checking Three-Eyed Rock. Xarnax is going to go through this pass-through. And is going to be greeted with the answer all along on what he had missed. Yeah, it looks like 2 bars of health today on that life refill. There's our dragon. Para going to be double leveling here. Very close to a level. Barbara's going to give 300 minimum. That's enough to get that 2330 and then place the gem for whatever comes after. So Xarnax, seeing the pass-through just took him right here. And there's our Barba down. 700 for Barba, 2330 is a magic level, 3210 is also going to be a magic level, 577. Para can let it ride, but we are in a Caldera, probably going to up and A out of here, so... So next looks like he's trying to take a death here. And we're out. 2 palaces remain. 2 is on the west side of the west. 4 is... 4 is somewhere around here. I guess it's on the east? I think it's on the east, right there by Old Kusuto. No. Is it also on the... It's got to be on the west. I guess 2 and 4. 2 and 4 are over here on the west side. They're both over here. Turning in the trophy as well for the Reflect spell. Xarnax going into New Kusuto. Oh, he is looking for the hammer. Yeah, he's looking for the hammer. So, I guess these are valid plays. Yep. Unfortunately, all this is going to net him a whole lot of nothing. Oh, we up and A out? Is 4 on the east side of the... I guess we're about to find out. Okay, I didn't think it was on this side of the west. We get an up and A from Para. That's... Probably a little hasty there. We probably just could have ferried out of that encounter. Or there's the 8th container for Xarnax. He's up 1 heart from the P3 heart. Probably not going to come into play at any point in time here. With life and shield on both of our runners. There's P4. Just south of Rudo, where we got the reflect spell. A little bit of time wasted there. That always feels bad. You do the up and A, and you're like, okay, we're at the palace is over here. Then the palace isn't over there. You're like, wait, where the hell is this palace at? And like, I was right next to it the whole time. All right, Xarnax not going into this 3-eyed rock. I'm not sure. He has seen the desert tile, but doesn't have the desert tile marked off on his own tracker. They're showing us P4 for the first time here. We have no idea where we're going in here. Xarnax still avoiding that 3-eyed rock. I don't think he's checked it yet. It's possible he's looking for old Kasuto for Thunder. I think he's going to see that shortly, though, and see that it is boots blocked. Oh, you know, I say he needs the hammer. He doesn't know he needs the hammer. Here's the item room in 4. This is going to be a candle if Para wants it. You know, he doesn't know he needs the hammer, so it's possible that he's going back to the maze. He's going through a pass-through right now. Is he? I'm not entirely sure what Xarnax is doing. There's that pass-through that spits you out right down here. I'm trying to decode what Xarnax is doing at this current point in time. I mean, even if he mistracked the desert tile, he walked right by it on his way to this side of the east again. So, my guess... But he's going back to DM again, it looks like. But he can't get anywhere without the boots. And both of our runners have the boots hint from the guy in Saria. And it is on Xarnax's tracker that the boots are in 5. He never checked 3-eyed rock. And so I don't know, but again, maybe he did. Maybe he did check the red rock and I missed it. But I would imagine that if he saw that it was 5, he would have gone in there. Looking at his own tracker, he doesn't have... he doesn't... It doesn't have water tile, desert tile, or really the DM stuff tracked either. He's got trophy for one of the spots, but it's just simply a reminder that it's there. Yeah, I guess that's true. He doesn't have the actual flute tracked. As we walk into Karak's room, it's also possible he hit the start button, and now he's got the flute, so he's coming back. So there you go. That's probably what happened, is that he thought he didn't have the flute and didn't check the inventory in the screen. And this is immensely costly for him at this point. Para's going to be done with 4. We're going to walk into 2, which is just simply sitting a few tiles away, and then into not Death Valley, into the maze for Great Palace. We don't know how long 2 is, so this could be a really quick 2. Well, there's the item room in 2. Hera doesn't know it's the child. The best thing it could be for her currently is a heart. I don't know what else you might want at this point in time. So next scene, this dead end here in 5 as well. This 5 was terrible for Para, so it could very well easily be terrible for Xarnax. If this is a really short 2 and we have a really short GP, it's possible that he gets stuck in 5 before, until this game is over. That's how bad this 5 was. Got 2 rights here in this elevator shaft that Para's in. Have another elevator room here for Para. Looks like a loop on Xarnax's side. Gotta go down and left. And here's Helmet Head for Para. So we're going to be in GP within 3 minutes, I'd say. Probably just way less than 3 minutes. I thought there might be an encounter or 2 on the way there, but nope. It's going to be straight to the maze, straight to the water, straight in. That was within a minute here. We are in, on my dashboard, 72:48. The barrier was done going up. A nice blue GP here. Double elevator shaft to start us off. And a left. Oh, he's found Guma. Now he definitely requires the item. I don't know. Well, I guess he does know that because he knows DM is boots blocked. So, and he knows old Kasuto's boots blocked as well. Yeah, I don't think we have an upstab pickup from Para here. So it's possible that we get kicked out of the palace at some point if we have an upstab block. I will point to Xarnax's Guma fight, though, which is always phenomenal. Also at attack 4. Nobody fights Guma better than Xarnax. He makes it look easy. Second gem down, sub 75. Probably not excited about that. So Para does not have upstab, and Para doesn't know how to get through this room without it. Pretty sure we had another direction to go, though. Alright, so Xarnax is going to stick around and look for the boots here. I think this is the only other direction we had. It's just this left. It is an elevator up. Could lead to a lot more GP. We started off with a bird, but nothing else. Nothing else going to slow us down here in this emoji room. Oof, we do a jump there over the one tile gap. You do have to walk that over the crumble bridge over to the little tunnel area in the middle, and not fast enough to get the fairy spell off. Gets a life back there. I'm trying to remember what was in this direction for Xarnax. We did see Para over here. We saw the down and left first, which was nothing. And then it was into this drop room, which I think was a whole lot of nothing as well. Para getting a little beat up here. That was a lot of resources to get through that red bird. Have another elevator up. Wow, I mean, some of this is a little busy. Nothing nightmarish, though. You always come in here with a lot of resources in these standard seeds. A lot of levels, a lot of containers. It's usually not that big of a deal. And it is a dead end here for Para. I don't think there was another way to go, so I assume we're going back to Darunia right now, which is just north of that cave. Dead end for Xarnax here. And he's going to up an A and start over. I honestly don't remember where those boots were. Again, Para was in here for a very long time. And it looks like Xarnax is going to spend the same amount of time in here as well. All right, well, Xarnax, Para with upstab now is going to head back into GP. Xarnax seeing that spell turns our blue iron knuckles into 300, our enemies into 300-point blue iron knuckles. Little late to grind, though. We're back in the GPs, just sub 79 for Para. I'm sure Para expects us to be over at any moment. So does Xarnax, though. Yeah, we'll see if we see an actual upstab block, but that room can simply be defeated with nothing at all. You could defeat it with or without jump. You just need the glove to get through. Both sides are going to be the same configuration as well. It's kind of a mirrored room in a way. So I think Para's seen something like 12-ish rooms in here. That's probably half of GP. I mean, it could only be a quarter of it, but... we could have a very shortened GP today. Maybe we've seen like 14 rooms. A nice bluebird to greet us. Yeah, Xarnax in this four-way elevator again. It's simply, he does have to go down and left. Everything else kind of dead ends or loops into itself. Going to be a one-up here for Para if she wants it. We are going to go back and get it. We do have a fairy block, it looks like. Oh, that's... it could be on purpose that we just took the death there simply to get our resources back because of the fairy block in the next room, although there's a 50-50 jar right there. Is this a fake-out room? It is a fake-out room, though. It starts out like the vanilla fairy room. Alright, we're still looking for Thunderbird. This elevator could take us there. Elevator at the other end of the room for Para here. Not to make it sound like I'm ahead of everyone. Alright, this is kind of a busy room. Xarnax still looking around for these boots. We do have an actual upstab block here. So if you didn't know the way through, you would have to definitely go back and get the upstab technique. Get the double cast of life from Para there. Xarnax presumably at another dead end. Up an A is to start 5 over again. Oh, jeez, the downstab on these guys is going to send you into the lava. All right, we're still looking for Thunderbird. It's entirely possible that Thunderbird is just at the end of this very lengthy GP right now. We have to think we only had one junction, right? We had one junction. There was a left and a right. The left led to a dead end. And the right is the path we're on right now. So we have not branched off. We have not had the opportunity to branch off until now. So we've got an up elevator. Oh, we've got... okay. This stack of elevators, this stack of rooms here is the vanilla room right here, the flipped version of it downstairs, and then we've got another hard upstab, vertical upstab block up on the top. So... Para taking another death, though. Just so we can get some resources to cast jump. But another bird to greet us. That left and right downstairs could also be absolutely the correct way. Xarnax just kind of flying around in P5 here. All right, we're on the left side of one of these fairy blocks. Fairy blocks. Fairy rooms. So this did just loop around it to itself, unless it's a duplicate room. Nope, we're going right here. And that's gonna be a save on Para's side. Do we have another upstep block? Running out of resources here for Para. Going to need to be able to cast Thunder whenever we find Thunderbird. We'll have to take a death at a minimum, but if we take a death here, Para's going to cut through a few more of those resources. We've got so many magic containers though, and I don't know how much Thunder is to cast. It's got to be 70 something, 60 something. We continue on. Wow. Unfortunately, Xarnax back in this dead end room here. All right, elevator down, coming up for Para. Probably most definitely into Thunderbird's room, right? Right? Falls into the pit, unfortunately. Not enough to ferry out. Gonna jump out. These dots, if Para gets hit by these dots, she's dead. Okay, survives. We got a left and a right. Where's Thunderbird? And I don't think we can get touched here. Nope, that's a death. Final life for Para. We are in game over territory here. Nice slice through that. Bodies the bird. Life 8, though. Just over a heart of damage from bodying the bird. Dead end to the right. It's a little tricky to get past these enemies here. This bird might cause problems. Nope, perfect. Okay, no problems whatsoever. A bad fire pattern on those birds coming from the high ground is sometimes you just eat a bunch of damage. Another elevator up here and through this waffle room on the other side for Para. Probably, certainly, most definitely Thunderbird. Although we're going to cast Jump to get past the blue bird and the orange bird. Try not to take too much damage. Trying to take 0 damage if we can. Look at that. We have found Thunderbird. Do we think there's much more beyond this point? We've got 61 to cast Thunder. We can shield, and I think we've got enough for a life cast if we need it. Although what awaits after Thunderbird could be an immediate Darkling, could be another fairy block or something that we're going to use resources to get through. That's possible. Hoping not to take any damage here. Not too bad on attack 6. Should be 1 or 2 more hits. Just 2 more. There we go. Thunderbird down. Xarnax walking into the other room here in 5. And Para walking into Darkling's room. Para's going to sweep the series 2-0 here. Going to move on to the semifinals and await her next opponent. This is the first set of matches. The first series that finishes here in the brackets round for the 2023 standard Z2R 2023 standard tournament for Zelda 2 Randomizer. So Para, part of the top 8, now moves on to be part of the top 4. That is an official race time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, 56 seconds. Xarnax with an immediate forfeit there, throwing in the towel. I'm sure we will get both of them in here for an interview here in a moment. Sub 90. Sub 90 is pretty good. Kind of a long seed. That 5 and that 6. My God. And Paratroopa joining us. GG, Para.
Hi. We have some stuff to talk about.
I'm sure we do. The floor is yours. How did that one feel? What did this one from start to finish? Let's. Well, Xarnax is about to be in here as well.
Yeah. Let's get Xarnax in here.
And Xarnax joining us as well. GG Xarnax.
GG.
Para was gonna
GG,
just.
Para.
GG. Yeah, there's a few places where you could get stuck in this seed, and I almost did. But I made it through.
I made two. Well, one just like I should have just forfeit as soon as I realized it. I thought about it, and it wasn't that big of a mistake. And then another one that was really big.
Was it in 5?
They were both before 5.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I just finished 5.
Oh, okay.
No, the pass through to get to 5.
Yeah. No, I actually did have this problem too. But I maybe didn't lose as much time on it as you did.
Yeah. I spent a fair amount of time trying to get through Death Mountain without boots. Just to find the hammer cave. And before that, I spent I went to Saria, got the hint for Bagu, which was the other corner of the map, then went and found Bagu and went back and went through Saria to get to Heart Container Cave, which ended up being a magic jar.
Mm-hmm. I considered doing that early on. I decided not to, and I did end up going back for that magic jar once I had boots. But
then I started diving palaces with 2 keys.
I also did that. I regret doing that. It was a bad idea.
Well, I mean, like I never went through that pass through to get to 5.
Yeah.
I kept digging palaces till I found the raft.
Yeah, so that pass through to 5, I saw it. I'm like, I see there's that little space with some graveyards on the other side. I'm like, well, it just leads to that dead end. So that's not going to be
it.
So I'm going to have to go through. I first I went to 6 in the Caldera for some reason. I was like, I hope that's 5 and I can get boots out of there. I don't care that it's not in logic. Like, whatever. Let's just throw caution to the wind. I want boots.
Like
but
through Valley of Death?
And then after that, I went through Valley of Death. I was like, well, that must be the connector, right? That has to be a Valley of Death that goes the other side. And it didn't. And it was 1, and I beat the boss, but I didn't have any keys, so I had to leave.
At least there were no palaces or no keys required to get through the palace.
Yeah, I don't think so. No,
there were none.
Yeah, but there was the door at the end that I couldn't open.
Right.
Because I spent a key in 6. I had one from a drop, but I spent it earlier, and it was on something stupid.
Yep.
But after that, I was like, okay, I should check that pass through. Like, maybe it doesn't lead to the graveyard. And indeed, when I got to the other side, it immediately gave me any key and the location of 5. I was like, well, I'm screwed. But I guess not.
No, not at all. Then when I found 5, when I got the flute, I was I was busy fighting or whatever and didn't track it immediately. And then 10 seconds after I left the cave, I'm like, okay, what did I get in there? I don't remember. I'm just going to mark it as a 1-up because just to mark that I got it. And then when I found 5, I didn't look at my inventory, didn't try and play the flute. I was just like, I need to find the flute.
Oh, no. Oh, that's really sad.
And then I went all across the east again. I was like, how on earth do you get to Old Kasuto?
Mm-hmm. I think it is boots blocked, right? There's no pass through there.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay.
I didn't find that, and I didn't find and I obviously couldn't get the water tile.
Mm-hmm. It's the hammer, which leads to the trophy.
Right. Okay.
Which is required.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure fire is fairy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never checked fire, and then I never figured out
either, but I unlayered everything else.
And then I guess Hammer Cave would have been the a pea bag.
Either the raft or one of the heart containers that I don't have.
Final heart.
Okay.
Raft was in 6. Heart was in 3.
Okay, I didn't get either of those. Yeah, so it must be the final heart. Because I got everything except for 3, 6, and Death Mountain. Although I neglected the child. I went for child neglect 100%.
Yeah.
Because it was in 2, and I was like, well, I'm pretty sure it's fairy, but I don't want to go back to Runia. Joke's on me. There were 3 upstab required rooms in GP, so I had to go back for upstab. But I didn't get Fire Fairy though. GP was really like, holy crap! GP was bad, by the way. That was a hell of a GP. And 5 was also crazy. I don't know if you got the boots in 5, but they were like, it's a drop room that goes to a room that is duplicated elsewhere. That's also a drop, but you have to. But it actually leads to the boots. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I just got them about 3 minutes before you finished.
I was like, that could be a place where Xarnax would mess up, because I almost thought that I had looped back to that room that was the drop room. I was like, well, but I was like, no, I've searched everything in 5. I know that this has to be a unique room, so I went right, and that led me to the boots. But I still full cleared 5. It was like horrible.
Yeah. I've full cleared 5 like 3 times.
Yeah,
I went through, because the first time I found the drop that led to the boots, that was the first drop I found, and I had seen the landing room on the other side of the palace.
Yeah.
So I skipped it, and then later when I got to the other drop rooms, I was like, well, I got to take this one, and then that took me to the landing room, and then I couldn't remember where the first drop I found was.
Yeah,
and I went every possible wrong way multiple times before I found it again.
I full cleared it and probably still spent less time there just because it's so bad.
Yeah,
I full cleared like every palace except for 3. 3 I went right and got Rebanak right away, but every other palace I basically full cleared. Like 4 was awful, 5 was awful, 6 was awful. 6, oh god.
I never went in 2 or 4.
Okay, yeah. 4 was pretty bad. I full cleared it. 2 was whatever.
But yeah, I still had 4 gems left.
Oh my god! Wow, I'm so sorry. That's brutal. And I thought I was having a bad time because I routed like every palace awful. I wasted time in 1 and 6, like just like not having keys or fairy or glove even. I had trouble. But I got it. Like I didn't go through the pass through that led to 5, but I got it like without losing too much time. I didn't so I guess I'm okay. And then GP was like terrible. I barely got through it. It's super long, and just awful. And Rick has 3 upstab required rooms. Everything's terrible.
Yeah,
but I win. GG. What a seed! I don't know. Ridiculous.
I find like I basically right before you finished, I had almost basically all of the knowledge I needed to wrap up, but I still needed to get Reflect and Thunder, and then place gems for 2, 3, 4, and 6, and then finish GP.
It's like a 15-minute long GP. So, yeah, you're gonna have some time left. It's one of those where Thunderbird's right before Dark Link, and like every room is like required to get the Thunderbird, except for a couple. Like it's stupid. But I went in there with extra lives, but then I up-a-date anyway because of my lack of upstab. And then I was on my last life and barely got through it. So
oh man.
Yeah, for the record, some people say terrible GP, others say amazing. Okay, so
cool.
I just wish I had been in there to make it more interesting to watch.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you had struggles with this one.
Yeah, it started off. I mean, it has to start off similar. Both of you were doing the same thing. Well, Para, you went to the west side. You went through Paratroopa Cave. First.
Yeah, I did right away.
Yeah,
I don't know why I just did.
Yeah, and you hit the east pretty early on. You kind of looked around there, kind of looked around the maze. Xarnax got the medicine and the magic container out of Medicine Cave as well. Kind of saw that area of the west, then hit the west side of the west. But he left behind Magic Container Cave and everyone left behind Heart Container Cave because it was on the other side of Saria. But I don't know if we did you guys see the cave over there early on, or was that kind of out of sight?
I saw it.
Okay.
I knew it was there. I found Bagu's Woods. I considered getting Bagu just to get that cave. I'm like, I know where boots are, and I'm so hard committed to finding boots right away in this seed because I know that I need to go to Death Mountain. I didn't want to do Death Mountain without boots. I'm just going to assume boots are like not required, but like I'm just gonna pretend they are because I don't want to do Death Mountain without boots. I like went in there very briefly. I went through the first pass through just to see kind of like the layout and to see if but then I was like, no,
I got 2 steps into that first cave, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is islands. I'm not doing this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually a river canyon, which is a new enabled Death Mountain biome that was not present before. We only had vertical river canyons. Now we have the option to have horizontal river canyons as well.
I don't know, biomes, whatever. All I saw was water.
Right.
Yeah, water. Yeah.
Like I said, I went through one cave just to see if that led to an open area where I could kind of look for Hammer Cave or the boulder, even though I didn't have Hammer yet. But then it led to like immediately like another cave. I'm just like, no.
It was a series of one like linear options.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it really came down. You were both in the maze, and Per had shown us Death Mountain first, and then Xarnax is in the maze as well, and then Per is going into Death Valley, and then Xarnax is sort of behind Per at this point. Per, you did make it, as you said, make it to the horse. Not able to get through the door, had to get out of there. Xarnax did have a key. He did place the gem first, but that was is going to be quite a while before Xarnax. Little did he know it would be quite a while before he would end up placing a gem. Beyond that point, not checking that pass through. And I know you're beating yourself up about that one because you saw it in reverse, and you're like, oh boy. But we were cheering for your Xarnax that you were going to be finding the raft, because when we saw that it connected to the other side of the east, I'm thinking best case scenario, he finds the raft in one of these palaces out of logic, and then he's able to access the magic key and the fairy spell and P5 with the boots that are required today pretty heavily. And eventually you did, but it was it was quite late.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was I didn't know we didn't know that you had mistracked the flute until getting a look at your own tracker, being like, oh, he doesn't have the flute written down on any of these spots from the west, because it was right there. So you never checked it. I've made that mistake myself in the past.
Yeah, because flute is such an uninteresting west item. You just like
Exactly.
You're just like, I don't care.
So it wasn't. If I had remembered that I got it, I just left that cave. I knew I had gotten the item out of it, so I wanted to mark that I don't need to go back there, but I couldn't remember what I had picked up.
I make this mistake in Trophy Cave, especially because it's the only West Cave that you have to, like, when you leave it, you have to do stuff. Like, so I don't have my tracker finger ready for that, because leaving Trophy Cave, you have to immediately be jumping over pits and stuff. Every other cave in the West is like you have time to like go track while you're walking.
Yeah, left. You got it. And empty room to walk through.
I've done this before with Trophy Cave. Yeah.
Yeah, and like everyone's just saying here, that this is something that comes up, and I find myself walking up to boulders just to press the button to be like, do I have the hammer? Just to check.
I've done that.
Yeah, so now in Three-Eyed Rock, I'm usually like, do I have the flute? Let me just stop and try to blow the flute if I can. If it's there, if I've got it, if I've mistracked it, I'll know. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, you play enough seeds, and this catches you. Unfortunately, this is this is the one thing you hope it doesn't catch you during a tournament race, but. Yeah, tonight was not. I mean,
if I had played the flute as soon as I found Three-Eyed Rock, I don't think that was the difference.
No, I mean, no, you're right on. I'm right on that, but it was, man.
Z2R is like practicing Z2R. Like the two most important things that you get from doing tons of practice of this game. One is room layouts, like recognizing rooms and knowing like what they lead to, what they connect to, etc. I'm still not there, but I'm getting a lot better at it. The other thing is like knowing what mistakes you could have possibly made and not making them in the future.
Yep.
There's so much of that in this stupid game. And I've finally gotten to the point where I'm not making as much mistakes anymore. At least like not like race ending mistakes, you know what I mean? There's so many things that you can do wrong. It's brutal.
There really is. It kind of depends on the flag set. Three-Eyed Rock and Forest Tile don't have to be in the east. We can turn those off. But in brackets, they are turned on 50-50. And so, of course, here it is tonight, a Three-Eyed Rock. But again, easy flute. But when you forget you got it, it's not easy flute at that point.
It's very funny, by the way, that there's only one hammer location in this. There were no rocks in the west. And their new Kasutos open, but hammer is still required for the trophy. So that's funny.
Boots were big high pry item. You know, we needed to get to Old Kasuto for Thunder. That was boots locked. We needed to get through DM. Well, honestly, just the path to Spec Rock was not boots locked because Xarnax had shown us that on foot without the boots. So if it were Hammer Cave, it would have been boots locked. Water Tile obviously having the hammer, so that's boots locked. And was there something else that I'm forgetting here? Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I had a huge fear, which was that fire could have been thunder if the child was, you know, in some location that I hadn't been to. And that's, you know, it's not going to be in logic, but it doesn't really matter for our purposes because, you know, everything's got to be in logic eventually. So I was like, oh man, what if fire's thunder and like you could get it with the child and like the boots aren't necessary at all? That was like, oh man, I hope that doesn't like happen. Or it's reflect also is actually a possibility. But it wasn't either of those things, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, but that's it for this series. The best of 3 series. Para's going to take this one. Xarnax, unfortunately, not the best showing to go out on here. However, tonight's race and any potential post-race emotions that you're feeling right now, overall, how do we feel we did up to this point?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I think at this point in the tournament, I feel like an underdog in every race. My biggest weakness is mental mapping, both in the overworlds and palaces. I feel everyone left is a lot stronger than me in both of those. So I need a couple things to go my way. And it just didn't happen today. It was particularly bad today, but whatever. One thing I am very excited about is I made it through this entire tournament with no hardware malfunctions.
Hey, yeah, how about that? That's true. That's very true. And I will say that your Guma fight looks gorgeous as ever, my man. Is that from a little D-Rust on the 131 the other night? I mean, it's always looking good, but I mean, did you get a chance to get in on that?
I have spent more time on that than anything else. We'll see how it goes in the marathon. It's such a it's impossible to do that consistently because his hitbox is so small. And his random movement back and forth can make such a big difference.
Yeah.
I've done one attempt with that strategy, doing the entire fight damageless.
Wow.
Which was, I wish I had been recording that and so I could show trails, but but yeah, I'm definitely playing with that a lot, trying to get a feel for his movement. Practicing Barba and Thunderbird too.
Well,
so that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, every time you're on Guma, it always was like everyone stop and watch Xarnax fight Guma because this is the tutorial. This is peak Guma fighting performance right here. So you've always got that, my man. But yeah, I think you did perfectly fine in the tournament. This is a mistake, obviously, that was made today. It sucks again to do this in a tournament race like this, but. You know, I think Para was coming back for some vengeance from Swiss because you did take the win over her in Swiss.
Yeah,
and,
I got that.
Yeah, Xarnax and I have played a lot, so this is kind of a rivalry for me.
Yeah, 2 old veterans. You two have been around for many years.
Oh yeah, point. Yeah. We tag teamed at 2016 SGDQ for a Zelda 2 co-op race.
Wow,
that was the first time I met Xarnax. And so we've both been around Z2R for a long time.
Very cool. Well, Para, you're finally feeling de-rusted now, moving into the semifinals of the tournament, the final 4. You were one of the final 4 moving out of the final 8. So I'm sure you're feeling pretty good about this. I mean, I don't want to, tell us how you're feeling.
Yeah, not bad. I also do think that my mental mapping still needs work. I still lose things in the overworld sometimes. Like today, I when I went back to 4, I thought it was on the other half of the overworld, and I was like, I reset out of Rudo to go back to the start. I'm like, wait, it's not here. It's on the other side of Paratroopa Cave, and I'm like, so I still have work to do on that because that's just pure time loss. There's like nothing gained from that, so I really need to make sure that I keep those kind of mistakes down. I just haven't really figured out a good mental like mnemonic for remembering the exact locations of things in the overworld. I don't know why. I need to get better too at knowing rooms. I'm getting better at knowing if rooms are dead ends or not, or item rooms or not. But I still need to get better at remembering, I've seen the right side of this room. Now I'm seeing the left side of this room, so I know it's probably the same room. Like that kind of stuff is just not in my brain at all. And that's probably my biggest weakness. But I'm getting better overall at minimizing mistakes and playing a little bit more aggressively. I'm feeling more confident about combat and palace exploration and like not getting stuck on things. My combat's I'm still like winging it. I'm like not really doing meta strategies for anything, but I'm not really dying to bosses too much, which is good. So I feel pretty good about combat. I feel good about routing. I think that I'm pretty good at randomizers in general. It's just some of the memory things, and just mostly just memory things. If I could just get a little bit better at that, then I feel like I would be going at pretty full speed. But other than that, I feel okay. But this seed was not the best, though. This is still kind of rough, but it was mostly down to just bad luck, just bad routing stuff.
Yeah, neither one of you could escape that. Really, that P5 did both of you in.
I think basically anyone full clears that 5, so I'm not really feeling too bad about that. But
yeah,
it was like a 7 or 8 minute 5, so ugh.
That's it.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah. So maybe we'll see each other, Mirai, in the semis.
It's possible.
You still have to play CS Tutor, and that's not free.
No, it is not free at all. But that's what we've got to schedule that still. I don't have a read on that just yet, but we'll figure that out soon because our time our expiry date is coming up for the for this round here. So we got to figure that out.
I think you have until December 3rd, but
okay, maybe.
I think. I mean, don't take my word for it. I'm not the TO, but
yeah, if we do, I would prefer not to wait that long anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm
with
getting
that.
rusty over here.
Yeah.
Anyway, GG's to both of our runners here. Xarnax unfortunately going
thanks for the restream and the commentary.
Yep.
Absolutely. Para moving on. And anyone else can check out the Z2R Discord for more Z2R action. We just had a race happen tonight that couldn't get restreamed, but will be bootleg restreamed shortly at some point in the very near future, I believe. So, anyway, that's it for me. It's been a long race. It's been a long stream. So VT Slacker, all yours.
And once again, GG to our runners, Paratroopa and Xarnax. Please give them a follow. Also give a follow to our wonderful commentator, Mirai. Coming up on the Family of ZSR channels, we have more races from the Z2R Standard Tournament, as well as ALTTP NMG League races as well. I'll be sending you over to ZSR2 for one of those ALTTP NMG League races between Chex Human and Tam. Thanks for watching.